At the back end of the season 2014, Beat L2 on the Norwegian Fly Fishers Club water was allocated to me on one afternoon, and I went there the day before with my lunch packet to study the water. I saw a few big fish jumping, mostly farther out in the lower part of the pool, and anticipated that with a further dropping river I might be able to wade and fish the most attractive lice in an effective manner on the next day. The last salmon season on the Gaula was not an easy one. There was virtually no snow during the last winter, and the mild temperatures never gave the impression of a real winter. The Norwegian summer was extreme, with unprecedented heat records. July was the warmest month the province of South Trøndelag has recorded since weather records began more than 110 years ago. The warmest July ever, as the newspapers wrote. The weather in August was very similar and the water levels unusually low, with the water temperature super high. Perfect swimming weather, but extremely poor conditions for salmon fishing. In the middle of August it finally began to rain heavily, and consequently the water level rose, whilst the water temperature was dropping. After some hours the Gaula had turned into a real river again, and suddenly many fish were showing. New fish, which had been waiting in the estuary for better river conditions, started to run. After a real flood, the water level dropped slowly. I fished the pool slowly and systematically downstream. Some salmon were showing on the opposite bank, which made me quite optimistic. On my Orvis Helios 15-foot rod I fished a slow sinking line and a small self-created silver grey on a small double hook number 6. After I had fished a good deal downstreams, I mended my line in accordance to the speed and structure of the current, and, as the small fly fishes round in a promising manner, I suddenly felt that something very massive had taken my fly. I was immediately sure this is a big fish because of the calm but mighty resistance. Now it was important to remain cool and not to lose the fish in the fast and low rapids. As I had heard, a 20-pounder was hooked here 2 days ago, and the angler had to follow through the rapids downstream for more than 1 kilometer to be able to land it. I was not keen to do the same and employed my special tactic, which avoids usually that fish are leaving the pool. This is my way to handle fish in a difficult situation like this, and I have used it successful on the bridge pool in every of the last 29 years, so many times. One needs to avoid provoking the fish and walks it slowly backwards upstreams, gaining distance to the dangerous rapids. It definitely looks not very exciting, as the long spectacular runs that everyone expects from a salmon are not taking place. But keeping the fish, which feels like it weighs a ton in the strong current, under constant pressure all the time, and building up a sort of spiritual dominance, keeping the fish almost in trance, is not easy. You should wade safe, not struggling, not knocking the line with the rod, because that would definitely cause that the fish gets provoked and it is waking up and starts to fight. But this is happening sooner or later. I prefer later, when there is a safe distance to the rapids in the tail of the pool. And it happened this time again. Having returned to almost the point where I had started to fish, the fish broke up. My hypnotic influence faded, and I had to face the fact that the fish was not tired to the same extent like it would have been doing long, exhausting runs. Therefore, it started to jump on a short line, quite a number of times in a most impressive way, causing enormous splashes. As the distance was short, I could see my little silver gray in the scissors of its mouth, not looking very secure at all. Every jump could have been the end of this encounter, because the fly could have easily lost its grip. After the fish got slowly tired, I had to face the next problem. Also, I'm used to handtail all my fish. This time I was not sure if I would be able to land this big fish on this high bank in such deep water. I failed again and again to get a secure grip on the fish. Every time I came close and wanted to handtail it, it started a powerful run again. Finally, I managed to get my hand around its tail, bring it into a secure position, and measured it with fellow angler Achim in assistance to a length of 118 centimeters, or 3 feet and 10.46 inches. Achim asked me on which fly I had caught it, and I just took my little fly effortless out of the fish's mouth and showed it to him. It had just been hanging loosely and was almost falling out. I honestly thought all the time when playing the fish that a Gaula fish this size could only be a cockfish. But this was in fact a female, and as it is close to the season's end, it will probably not be caught again and will spawn successfully. After a quick photo in bad light, I released this impressive conditioned salmon carefully, wishing it all the best for the coming spawning season.